Man, we've had some beautiful days out here in the Midwest. Right now I'm getting ready to take Bear, our 14-year-old dog, out for a walk. So what I want to talk to you about today is why there are three steps to law of attraction. The first step is, what is it that you want? The second step is spending time feeling the feeling as though you already have it. Spending that time and feeling with, the intensity and with as much detail about what it is you want, what it would look like, how it would feel to have it, and just putting as much imagination and detail into it as you possibly can. And then the third step is crazy. The third step is you have to let it go, right? Why do we have to let it go? This is Bear. He's 14 years old. He's a pretty good dog. Did I poke you in the eye? I'm sorry. Oh, he's got a little bit of arthritis. So he's got a little hitch in his walk, but he and I have that in common. We're gonna eat something and then we're gonna go for a walkie. Let's break it down and make it a little more simple for those who are just learning about law of attraction. Step one is thinking. It's about deciding what it is you want. Metaphysically, this is like directing your consciousness. You're basically choosing a frequency, an idea, much like a GPS, actually. It tells the universe and your subconscious mind where you're headed. Step two, you gotta feel like it's already yours. This is where you energize the thought. Emotion is the magnet. Feeling the feeling of your desire tells your nervous system and energetic field, this is safe, this is real, and it belongs to me. This is the hard part, letting go. The misunderstood part. Letting go matters for a few deep metaphysical reasons. Attachment, hidden doubt. When you keep gripping the desire and checking constantly about worrying when it's going to get there, when am I going to see it, when is it going to manifest, you're basically holding that energy hostage. In order for a rose to bloom, one must allow it to bloom, correct? If you try to pry the petals open of a rose, they fall off. If you hold on to it too tightly, then there isn't enough room for it to open gently and beautifully. The same thing with energy. Step three is a very important part of law of attraction and probably the hardest. And it does require a lot of patience and a lot of practice because you are essentially detaching yourself from the idea of the thing that you want the most, right? You're like, how can I want this so bad, but not think about it? Well, that in itself does take practice. That's the part of law of attraction that, all of it requires practice. But that's the part of law of attraction that takes the most practice. Who would have thought that letting go was so hard? Let's go for a walk. Come on. You ready for a walkie? Let's go for a walk. I'm not really sure who's walking who, right, Bear? Is it me walking you or is it you walking me? Trust is what opens the receiving state. And letting go shifts you from receiving to allowing. It's hard for some people to receive or allow, for that matter. I don't know why that is. Possibly it's how we were brought up. So in practicing the detachment part of law of attraction, you must also practice the feeling of what it feels like to allow. Taking a deep breath and just feeling the feeling of what it feels like to allow that into your life, the thing that you want the most. But remember that just because you want it doesn't mean it's good for you. I can tell you countless stories of things that I have manifested only to realize that maybe it wasn't such a good idea. That is why I always say this or something better now manifests for the good of me and everyone involved, right? I live by a train. And it's hunting season, so there are a lot of ducks and a lot of deer. Peaceful. Metaphysically, manifestation is about receiving a signal as opposed to pushing a boulder uphill. When you relax, your nervous system and your subconscious become more receptive to synchronicity and opportunities. Relaxing is very key because a lot of times the things that you want they might come in the form of signs. They have come to me in the form of license plates, birds, songs, symbols. You'll know. Don't try to force something into a sign, because that's easy to do, and especially if it's something that you want really bad. That's why it's important to relax and practice allowing and receiving as opposed to remaining in that step 2 of just wanting and feeling the feeling of what it is to have it. The other thing is that when you are in step 2 and you're feeling the feeling of what it is to already have that what you want, it's really important that you make it and create it into an enjoyable experience. You don't want to close your eyes and think, oh, I want this so bad. I mean, you can. But if you're visualizing and you are wanting something that feels more like desperation, then there might be a possibility that it's not good for you. Now, if you're thinking about a loved one and you are praying for a loved one, or you are hoping that a loved one can, get better, perhaps change course, a lot with my younger son, who, is still following the beat of a different drummer. That's his journey. You can't force another person's journey. You can see them with love. You can visualize them healthy and strong and doing well. And what that does is it sets up an energetic presence for them that they will feel. They're going to feel it, and it will help aid the healing process. But unfortunately, most of us think that now we're going into a different topic. Most of us think that the healing process always ends in good, happily ever after in good health. That could be, or happily ever after might just be a transition into the spirit world. We don't know. It's not for us. we have to allow others to have their journey. So when creatively visualizing and manifesting and wanting to manifest something, feeling the feeling of what it feels like to have it, you also have to understand that if it involves another person, you would want their highest and best. Number one, most importantly, you would want their highest and best. If it's a house or a trip or some type of material object that you're trying to manifest, always just end it with, this or something better now manifests for the good of me and everyone involved. And practice detachment. Detachment is really important, and it gives the energy surrounding that which you desire the ability to provide the momentum for the universe to begin the process of manifesting what it is you want. It works every time. I've made hundreds of vision boards. Everything I have on there has manifested. Some things have manifested that were probably not good for me, and I quickly had to let go. So always remember that you can have whatever you want. You can manifest whatever it is you desire. Just always keep in mind that you should always see that it is for the betterment of you and everyone involved. I've been doing this for so long that I can literally look at my husband and say, wouldn't it be amazing if there was a job out there that included working with the geriatric community? Would you know, the very next day I received an email with an invitation to come in and interview for just that type of job. Why did it manifest so fast? I do believe that it is because, one, I had the desire. Two, when I was speaking about it, when I was talking about it with my husband, I had the feeling of, oh, I would love that so much. Wouldn't it be so amazing to have that type of work, to be doing that type of work and making money while doing it? And then I just forgot about it. That fast. It manifested. So I just think that it takes practice, and practice just means doing something over and over again until you become good at it. Anyway, that's it. Those are my thoughts for today. So, happy manifesting.